Yo, Joel Hoffman here, coming to you straight from the underground. Undergroundmotivation.com. I named my website that because I want to help people come straight from the bottom, straight from underground. We're helping them come back to life, come back to the top. The reason for the video today is I wanted to talk about addiction. I've lost so many friends to and family to drugs and alcohol. And I just wanted to share some things that I've learned in hopes that maybe I could help somebody get up off the floor and have a reason to get going, a reason to quit today, not tomorrow, today, and belief that they can possibly do it. So just some of the things that I learned while this struggle, man. I've been a struggle of mine. I started probably when I was 12 years old, started smoking cigarettes, started doing inhalants, started smoking weed, pretty much anything I could get my hands on. But without going into all that, just know that it's been a long battle for me. And I've came a long way, and just want to help people with the things I've learned. So one thing I learned is I could always find a reason to drink or use drugs. I could just sell myself any reason to do it. I might had a great day at work and made a lot of money, and that's a reason, or I didn't have a good day, and that's a reason. Most of the time, my reason, like for drinking, most of the time was just I needed to go to sleep. Didn't really tell myself that I could sleep without it. I never really tried many other options either. For a long time, that's just what I did. I would drink myself to sleep, and it was pretty miserable most of the time, and it's kind of degrading now that I look back on it. But in that moment, I was taking care of myself, fully functioning, I guess. Try to pay my bills, didn't really have to lean on a lot of other people. So I was at least proud for that, considering where I started. So it's a lot of times we can fool ourselves and say, oh, we're doing everything okay, and I'm still holding down my job, and I still have this relationship. But in reality, you're slowly just hammering yourself to eventually death with drugs. Even if it doesn't happen now, maybe you die at an early age at 50, 55, 60 instead of hopefully, 80 something years old or 90 or whatever we're expected to live nowadays. So it's just kind of, we have to stop believing our own lies, the lies that we tell ourselves about, why it's okay or that it's not a problem, because it really is. It really is a problem. Maybe you're popping pills and it's okay because the doctor prescribed them to you, and it's fine. And I can't function without this anxiety medication, or I can't function without these pain pills because my knee hurts so bad and I have to be able to work. So this is what I have to do to be able to function, or they give me this energy or this anxiety medication. For me, it was like, man, if I take a Xanax, I could sell anything to anybody. Boy, it's my magic sales pill. And I would it was amazing. And so having to remove that as a crutch, and stop telling myself that as a lie, that I was really the same person, that I have the same capabilities as a normal person that I do as on any drug or any kind of effect that alcohol gives me. It may take some work and some time to develop that, but it's very much true. So really, we have to stop believing our own lies, and why it's okay, and that's just it. So a lot of times, some of the reasons that I would fall back into drinking or taking pills or whatever I was doing, was because I was like self-sabotage, and it would be, I wouldn't be able to handle my emotions, or maybe I had this subconscious belief that I didn't deserve the status of where I was at, and I didn't really deserve the things I had or the money I was making. So I would self-sabotage and find ways to mess up and go blow my money or get locked up over some stupid stuff, and have to pay a lawyer and just a lot of different things. And it's just important for you not to self-sabotage and realize that we do that. And it's hard to eventually develop this self-love that we have to have in order not to throw a wrench in our own system, because a lot of times we just subconsciously do things and we find reasons to be depressed or be negative, or a reason to be emotional or can't handle our emotions, and we take that and we use that as a reason to drink or use drugs. So it's definitely important to be conscious to not self-sabotage. You might be thinking about the poor choices that maybe you made recently. Maybe you had a bad day or a bad experience. Maybe you made a poor financial decision, or maybe you're just living in the past, or maybe you're having issues with somebody in your family, your spouse. Any reason just to say, fuck it. That's usually what we do and what I've done to go back to drinking and using drugs. So it's like whenever we see these red flags and you start being honest with yourself, what's really important is to learn these things and learn yourself. That way in the future, you're like, wait, I've been here before, because that's what I do. Like, wait, I've been here before. I've been mad at myself for this and I've used it as a reason to go get hammered. And then always the next day I wake up and it's just never anything better. It's always worse. So what we really have to do is take all this and use this for future reference, and to really be real with yourself to help correct things that you've done wrong. Don't be problem minded, be solution minded. So one thing that another thing is the belief that being addicted is who you are. Most of us probably come that are addicted, or have been addicted, have come from a family tree of alcoholics or drug users. And it's like, hey, this is what I inherited and this is part of who I am. Kind of like it's part of our culture, and it gives us this belief that there's no escaping this who I am, because my daddy was an alcoholic, my grandma was an alcoholic, my uncle was a drug addict. All these people who were around me are alcoholics, so it's just what I have to be too. And it's not true. It's not who you have to be. It might be who you're molded to be, and it's not who you have to be. Being an addict is not something you have to be a slave to. So just knowing that you have to break this mold and break this belief of this is who you are, because it's not who you are. You can be whoever you want to be and change whatever you want to change, and believe that. And that's the next thing. It's impossible to change. It's simply impossible, because this is in my genetic code, or it's part of my DNA, and I have a disease. It's impossible to change. That's not true. It is possible to change. Look at the probably millions of people that have changed, that have overcome addiction. You look at those people, and you take the successful people and you follow that map and you make it a belief that they did it. I can do it too. Long time ago, Roger Bannister, he ran a 4-minute mile. Nobody in history had ever run a 4-minute mile, and scientists said that it was impossible to run a 4-minute mile until this man in the 60s did it. And nowadays, thousands and thousands of people have done it. High school athletes run a 4-minute mile, all because they believed, because one man could. So start finding people that have been in the same position that you've been, because as I've looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's been so hard for me because of this and this, and people don't understand what I go through. Then I look at other people that have been through so much worse, that come from war-torn countries, or may have been just the worst possible things that you can imagine, that I haven't been through. And we all have our own little battle, but there's always somebody out there that really has it worse. And it's like, if you look at people like Helen Keller, who was like blind and deaf and did all these amazing things, and it gives you a belief of that you can. So you have to believe, and you can't think that it's impossible. Believe that, like I said, believe that it runs in your blood. It's what you're destined to do. Just get that crap out of your mind. And then we have to go to this no self-love thing, that's really hard whenever you're really deep into addiction, and you don't have too many people to turn to, and you burnt all your bridges, and you're just so mad at yourself. It's really easy to hate yourself and just continue to be in the same rut that you've always been in since you've been addicted, and you're going to continue going downhill. And it's like you believe you don't worth it. I've been there, and it's like you just don't see any point in quitting. Wow, I hate myself. I just rather get fucked up. That way I don't have to worry about it, and I don't have to look in the mirror and realize what I've done to myself. You have to learn to forgive yourself, to love yourself, and be more positive about who you are and what you can do. Understand that the past is the past, that we've all made mistakes. Let he was without sin cast the first stone, and understand that about people, that everybody has done fucked up shit. And start growing from this point forward, and start changing what you do and the way that you hold your standards and the morals that you do. If you used to lie and steal, stop lying and stealing. Don't do people wrong. Start living by this good moral code, and don't look at yourself as impossible failure, as somebody that cannot change, because that is the furthest thing from the truth. We were created, everything in your DNA is created to evolve and change. God made you that way. That's on to the next thing. People, I had just a lack of faith. What can go wrong attitude, this Murphy's Law bullshit. Belief that if you ever quit, everything will still be fucked up anyways. That there's no way out, due to your circumstances, that you're trapped in a cycle because of this and this and this, you can't get a job because of this, and then this and this, you can't get a place to live because of this, and because of this reason you can't get a car. So it's all these different reasons of why you're just stuck there and why you're stuck and doomed to be an addict and fucked off. And that's the furthest thing from the fucking truth. It's step by step. Each thing has a different level as far as whether you need to get your ID, or whether you need to get a job, or whether you need to get work clothes. Like, there's always way, but you have to be willing to ask for help and being willing to accept help. But you have to be willing to go out of your way to do for yourself, and be willing to do whatever it takes to get what you need to get the hell up out of that hole. Um, you have to, yeah. And the next thing is, like, this is a big thing too. People believe that they have to have it to function. Like, believe, oh man, if I don't drink, I can't function. Like, I can't. After I get off work, I won't be able to sit still, or I'll gain too much weight, or I won't have this energy I need to go do my job, or like I use those reasons too. As like, I can't go to sleep. I can't be myself. It helps me loosen up. I just want to feel good. Big thing for me is, like, I just want to not give a fuck. I just want to take all this stress and everything that I'm dealing with, and I get just wasted. Pop me some pills, boy. I don't care about nothing, and everything's all good. But yet, every time I do that, I wake up and I still have the same problems, and I still feel like shit because I haven't done anything to change my life. My health was shit. Just feels bad. Like, how do you expect to feel good when you're not making any effort whatsoever? So what it takes is, like, so I guess in AA, and in AA, like, they say, believe that you are, what is it, it's impossible to change, or not, it's impossible to change. I can't believe I read it in the AA and NA book really helped me. Belief that we are powerless to change, and that power must come from God, and that it takes, like, this spiritual awakening. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I believe that, to believe the same thing, that the seed's implanted in you, but the seed's planted in you, and you have it in you to change. Maybe you haven't grown enough. Maybe you haven't nurtured yourself enough. Maybe you haven't made enough commitment. Maybe you only give it half-assed. Maybe you say okay, and you say no, 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 and then okay, fuck it, I've done that plenty of times. And it takes this continuous this continuous decision of not going to do that. That's not what I want to do anymore. That's not who I want to be. That's not going to get me anywhere. And you have to believe this seed was planted in you to be able to grow into who you really need to be and strengthen yourself. But it's just like a plant. If you don't water it, and you don't make any effort to take care of it, and you don't give it the right type of nutrients, then it's not going to grow. And if you do that to yourself, and you put yourself in a bad environment, and you stay being around the junky ass people you're around, you stay going to bars and being around people that want to drink all the time, you stay being around people that want to pop pills, you stay around people who want to tweak, then you're going to fall back into that. You got to get the fuck away from those people. That's a really huge thing. Another thing as well, like, control your environment. Know that even though, okay, it may suck to be around these new people, make these new friends, or even be by myself sometimes, or maybe just sit still, not do anything. Maybe that's really hard. But it's doing that part that's hard that's going to help you get to the next level. Start moving around, being around people that want to do more positive things in their life. Then once you start making these decisions to change, then, you go a few days, and then it's like, what the fuck do I do? I'm going to go to the bar. I don't, and it's really hard. Like, you completely change. So you have to start developing new hobbies, maybe learn how to play an instrument, maybe start drawing, maybe reading books. Definitely go to the gym. Like, so I've done all the studies on the dopamine levels of being addicted to different things. And that's, dopamine is one thing we have, and it sucks so bad whenever you're coming to withdrawals because your dopamine levels are so low. And so one way to raise your dopamine levels is by exercising, and that's huge. And then you feel great afterwards. You get really sore for, maybe the first couple weeks, a month. If you work out really hard, you should get sore often, but this really helps you. It's really helped me tremendously. Running, like, doing the things I really hate to do. I don't like to run, but I feel so much better, and I get to push that energy and that emotion out, and I feel so great knowing that each time I do these things that are hard, that I'm really beating that negative side of me, and I'm slowly crushing that negative evil side of me, and then I'm making the better side of me that is stronger. And that's why I really feel compelled to help people. It's and to tell you guys about this, the things I've learned. Because at the end of the day, like I don't want to die and God tell me, Joel, I asked you to help these people and gave you everything you need, and I gave you the strength, and instead of doing that, you just sat there and chill, man. Like I can't live with myself doing that. And I have people, family and friends right now that are strung out, man, that are fucked up, that are living in bad places. That I just heard about another guy that died. I used to manage a group of salesmen, and been and worked with all these guys, and loved a lot of them like my brothers, and so many of them have died, and women, a few women and have died, and it breaks my heart. And like, I'm lucky to be alive. I'm very lucky to be alive. God has saved me. That's a whole nother story. But believe me when I tell you, God has literally saved me multiple times from death. He saved me from prison. He's helped me overcome addiction. And without that faith, like, I don't think that I could ever be strong enough to do anything. And it's about dropping your pride and having that faith. And if you don't believe in any type of God at all, then just look around and get on Google, and I guess just study the odds of all this actually being real and coming together so perfect. Your body having this amazing immune system, this amazing ecosystem that we have, all the amazing animals that we have. The odds of this just being random are pretty damn low, actually astronomically low. So there's literally intelligence out here. Your mind and your words, they all have power. Your thoughts have power. It's there's scientific facts out there. You can look at, just YouTube it. Follow the people that are really trying to help somebody. Follow positive people. Stop watching TV. Start reading books. Get as much positive. Go on YouTube. Follow Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas, Billy Osbrooks. I can go on and on. Jim Rohn, my boy Les Brown. I always want to call him Les Miles, the LSQ coach. I don't know why. There's a lot of people out there, and continuously pump your mind full of this stuff. This is what I did. I took and made a dramatic change, and it's been a slow progress. And with my drinking, it was like, okay, I stopped and I slowed down. It was like, all right, I only drink like every couple weeks, and it's only on a weekday. But I get really uncontrollable, and it's like, okay, even if I'm okay 99 times, but that 100 time, it could cost me everything. And it's not worth it. And if, probably I think I'm okay them 100 times I am drinking, I'm really obnoxious. And it just makes you stupid. Like, I'm thinking about, like, I'm trying to be successful, I'm trying to be smart. And why do I constantly dumb myself down with this alcohol and make myself stupid, make bad decisions, like, and pills, like pop those, like, why? It's dumb. So just try to take a different aspect of your life and go to another level. Try to take a different way of thinking with your life, is what I was trying to say, and think that you can. A lot of times it was hard for me to change with a lot of my beliefs. They were so deep core built into me that it was really hard for me to break that. But at the end of the day, whenever everything I think about, I just think about what is good, what will help people, and just what is right. Like, try to be fair. Like, the simple rule is treat your brother as you treat yourself, and love God as you should. So if you love God, then it's like you have to follow him. You have to love people. If you love God, why do you think God made us? Like, he loves us. Give us a chance to experience this beautiful life. If you look at it as a negative life, and that it sucks and it's bad and it's horrible, then it's going to be that. And I struggle with depression and my emotions, and thinking that way sometimes. And it's a really sad place to be. And that's why it's important for you to do all the things that you need to do necessary every day, whether it's reading yourself positive affirmations every morning. I am a winner. I am happy. I'm strong. I'm rich with faith. I'm loved. All these little things. There's so many little things. There's literally a map that you need to follow to get to this next level of happiness. I hope everybody makes a bunch of money. But from my experience, money doesn't always equal happiness. Money will solve a lot of problems, and it'll probably give you a little bit of temporary happiness. But I guarantee you there's millionaires, maybe a millionaire will watch this video that might be addicted to drugs and trying to find happiness, and money's not it. So there's a lot more riches in life to money, and I hope that you guys search for all these riches, and stop looking for the glass is half empty and look for the glass is half full, because that's what you fucking have to do. You're not trapped. You don't have to be a slave to this disease. You don't have to be a slave to the negative way of thinking, but you are going to have to fight the way that you think. You are going to have to fight this right here and this right here to change that, everything about you. And it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. The people that tells you it's easy, that they're full of shit. For the people that just wake up and snap their fingers and their addictions taken away from them and they no longer have to struggle with it, good for you. For me, it's a everyday thing that some days are easier than others. I just stay so busy, things go so well, and it's kind of really easy to not really think about drinking. And then some other days everything goes wrong and the whole world's against me, and I'm just, man, it's really tough. But all that I could tell myself is that maybe, hopefully that if I could just stay strong, that maybe I can help somebody else, that somebody else will see me as an example. Maybe if I stay strong, that one day my kids or people younger than me or my family might be helped. So staying strong, sitting here, being the best kind of man that I can be. I struggle. I'm not perfect, man. I struggle with my emotions. I struggle with being more patient, with being easily frustrated. I struggle with making impulse decisions. I struggle with a lot of things, man. I struggle with depression. None of this stuff is easy to really talk about, but I know that there's so many people out there that do. And I've had so many friends that committed suicide, that are dead over alcohol or drugs, or that are gone pretty much crazy over this stuff, man. And I just want them to come back. I want them to come back from being addicted. I can't raise my friends from the dead. I can't raise my family from the dead. Got my grandmother when she was 66, liver disease, drank her whole life. I think she could probably still be around today, if that wasn't the case, man. So I hope everybody does the best to control their emotions, make good decisions, and fight all the negative things that's holding you back, and realize those negative things. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let the devil tell you that they ain't there, because they are, and find them. Don't destroy yourself because you are not perfect, because none of us are perfect, but find them and work on them. And I hope that whoever this video, I hope I was doing this. I was like, man, Joel, you do this video, freaking 5 people are gonna watch it. Nobody's gonna give a damn. They're gonna start watching it. They're gonna click out. And then you're just going to waste your time making this video, man. I've been putting it off for months, and God's continuously talked to me. And then I was listening to ET the other day, and he said, he was talking to a guy, and he was telling the same thing, like, what if I'm wasting my time? And then the guy said, well, what if it works? So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, what if it works? Like, what if this video, and I'm going to make more videos in the future, can actually help somebody and spread and help people believe that they can break free of addiction, that they don't have to be a slave anymore. So that's what I'm shooting for. So if you want to shoot this to one of your friends that you feel may need to hear this in a messenger or in a text or whatever, please feel free to do so. Today is the first day of the rest of your life, and I believe that if I can do it and other people have done it, then you can do it too. You cannot be a slave to whatever drugs or alcohol, whatever you're being a slave to, and you can break free and live happy, successfully, and do whatever you put your mind to. If I believe it and you believe it, it can be done. Have a great day. Go out there and live the best life that you can live.